What's going on, everybody? This is Wings of Wax, and we are back to play more Slay the Spire. I just realized that this is a little too loud. Hang on one sec. Alright, hopefully that's a little better. Let's see. Last time we were able to pick up a cursed key, which we're going to be able to hit one treasure chest. And is there going to be a shop after the treasure chest? Though there is not, so we can't actually remove the curse that's going to be in our deck. That's okay, though. I think we still have some pretty decent cards, if I'm not mistaken. It's a full 24 hours since I've actually last played, so yeah, I'm just kind of playing catch up here. So we have an ornamental fan. We also have the red skull to be able to give us some strength bonus. We have Akabeko maybe to get something like a... I don't think we have any AoEs in this deck. We have Runic Pyramid, though. That's pretty good. Since we do have the extra mana now. We have 2 Flame Barriers, which I like. We have 2 Metallicizes. We have 2 Limit Breaks. But we have no way to really gain strength. That is the issue here. Yeah, that is the issue. We just don't have anything that buffs our strength. So if we can find at least 1 or 2 strength cards in this act, I'll be very happy. We do have a Berserk that is upgraded too, so maybe we can set up that to be able to get some extra mana throughout these combats. I would like to avoid elites if I can help it. Sure. We can't really go to this shop. We could go to this shop, but the problem is that like 155 gold is not really enough to justify it. Maybe it is just because we're looking for a strength card and we have, 5 options, 5 choices to be able to potentially buy a strength card. I think that's reasonable enough to be able to actually go for that. Yeah, I think it is. I think we need a strength desperately. So I think we have to just try to go for the strength options here. Yeah, I mean, why would we not cast double flame barrier this turn since we have nothing else to do? Alrighty. Let's see, we have clothesline to be able to take out one of the, or remove some of them, weaken one of them is what I'm trying to say. Words are difficult, that is for sure. Well, we don't have anything to buff our strength, so this is going to be just a dead card in our hand for a long time, unfortunately. Sure, let's reduce the damage dealt by this one. I guess we can go for the Warcry, which we probably should have done first. Let's just put a strike, since we're probably not casting strikes this turn. We do have Metallicize, and we do have a way to be able to get rid of this limit break. So we're going to take some damage here, but I think this is worthwhile. I could have gone for Combust, actually, too, instead of going for, the Defend, but we were taking more damage if that was the case. And with Blood for Bloods being under deck, then I think it's worthwhile for us to actually take a couple points of damage here and there. But Combust does actually work really well with Blood for Blood, too, so keep that in mind. So we have a Seeing Red. Just trying to plan out the turn, which I don't really see a great way to prevent us from getting dealt 16. We obviously can put up some blocks here. These guys are actually going for some blocks for themselves for this turn. We can kill this one with a Blood for Blood. I think we're 100% using the Seeing Red, so we should at least go for that this turn. From there, I'm not really sure. I do think we're going to have to put up some block to protect ourselves, to not take too much more damage. We could save this Blood for next turn, because we're probably going to take damage no matter what here. So it's going to be a 0 mana card to be able to get out of our hand, which means we can probably go for strike, defend, and 3 defends or something like that. I think that's probably the most reasonable thing for us to do here. So if we put up 3 defends, we're not going to take any damage technically, which I actually do want to take at least a small chunk of damage. So that way we can make Blood for Blood free. Is Combust the best option then? I think it is, because just dealing 15 damage to all these guys, which unfortunately is not going to deal anything to this one, but I think that's more worthwhile. Obviously this is not a Berserk turn, that is for sure. We can potentially take this one out, correct? If we go for Bash Blood for Blood, I believe that kills you. 31 damage. Which would be 41, so we're actually just shy of that. Okay. Well, we do probably want to Metallicize then, and be able to prevent some more damage this turn. I would like to be able to kill one of these so that way we can just take a little bit less damage, but I don't think that's really in the cards just yet. Yeah, this is only going to deal 33. Okay, so I was one off, but... Do we go for a Sword Boomerang and hope it hits here? Boy, oh boy, we're going to be taking quite a bit of damage if we don't actually hit this. I think we go for the Blood for Blood just in case. So that way it only hits it once if it does actually hit. Thank God it hit. Okay. So we're able to put up 11 block this turn. So we're going to be taking 2 damage. And can we kill these is the question. That's what it comes down to now. I don't think we can, but we can put up a Flame Barrier, which will deal some extra damage to this one. This one's going to come back to life, unfortunately. I just don't see a way for us to be able to deal lethal damage. Is there anything we actually want back? We have nothing in our graveyard. Maybe we can bring a Flame Barrier back, actually. That's probably a reasonable choice here, which we will deal some damage to this one. We could kill this one. These both are going to come back to life. I just don't... I like being able to kill 2 in one turn, and I'd rather take a little bit of damage because I think it's going to be more beneficial to us to be able to try to take out just, like, 1 when it comes back to life. It's going to be much more reasonable. And if we do kill this one, we can potentially go for a Berserk, which will give us an extra energy, which we'd have to use a Headbutt and a Strike to be able to kill it. I think that is reasonable enough. I think that is reasonable, since most likely this guy's going to be attacking anyway, so... Yeah, unfortunately we didn't really need the actual defend this turn, now that I'm playing out the turn as I'm supposed to be, it looks like. But we're vulnerable for this turn. So the Flame Barrier didn't do anything there, which is unfortunate, but not the end of the world, I guess. Do we have a way to be able to kill this one again, since it's dealing damage to this one with it? With the armor up, it's not really worthwhile to us. I think it would start with this, obviously, and then we'd like have to pray that like a Sword Boomerang hits it. It's either that or I can just put up like Flame Barrier here. It's not the worst thing in the world. So if I Flame Barrier, that'll be 6, and only a Strike will deal 6 damage this turn, so that's it's not quite going to do it. I don't really like going for the Sword Boomerang, unfortunately, just because it doesn't actually reliably kill this. But if we could, I guess we do Sword Boomerang here, because if it does actually hit it, then maybe we can set up something to be able to potentially go for a Strike here. Yeah, I think we have to. We can kill this one, take no damage this turn. Unfortunately, these are all off-kilter again. So we're just looking for, yeah, like a turn like where we can actually use Blood for Blood. It's going to deal 22. So we're going to be blocking for 7 no matter what because of Metallicizes. Which means we could go for the Flame Barrier and just apply a little bit of damage to each of these. So we can potentially get them all to like really low life total. They're also taking 5-2. I got to keep that in mind. Which they're going to be taking 11 when they attack me. So I think we end up doing this. And then we just like headbutt the other one, putting that back on top. Yeah, Blood for Blood is definitely going to be the most beneficial thing for us to do here. So from here, we could bash, but it'll kill the one at the end. I think that's reasonable, though. Because then we only have one at 10 health. The other one's going to be at like 25-ish health. Problem is we just don't have any other attacks in our hand. And that's what I'm afraid of. We can go for another Flame Barrier, which will kill... So deal 4, which would be 10, which would be 15. Let's put this to 1. Okay, yeah, I can dig that. I can dig that. In other words, this one's going to be set to 1 life, which will make it a lot easier to try to kill this one now. So, yes, we will go for the bash. Yes, we will go for the Blood for Blood, and then we have Sword Boomerang to kill the last one. I mean, it didn't matter which one of our attacks we did there last. Still, no strength. Okay. I'm not sure any of these are super duper worth it. Like, I guess I'm, like, never sad to see, like, a Pommel Strike. I don't think we can afford to take another Sword Boomerang here. because we just don't have any strength upgrades. Like that would be the pick if we could reliably get something that boosts our strength, but we just have nothing. we have our skull, and that's about it so far. So and we don't really want to be at 50% HP against like any boss, but maybe that's worthwhile because Akabeko as well. Yeah, it's probably worthwhile just because of Akabeko. Yep. Taking it. Strength, please. Strength, 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 strength. No strength. Oh my god. We have a strength potion. That does something against potentially a boss. I Do we have any AoE in this deck? We just have the flame barriers basically and the combust currently. Okay. So it is consideration to take a cleave here. I guess Shrug It Off is also not terrible either. Do we have enough cards to be able to take advantage of like an upgrade armaments? Not really. We have some good cards, but I don't think it's. We do have Runic Pyramid too. So how soon can we upgrade? Assuming we can, would be like here, which we could potentially upgrade like when we get to like this one. Okay. Okay. Okay, I do think armaments is probably worthwhile. Probably a cleave as well. Is it is it is it really? I'm trying to just get a strength upgrade, because then once we get a strength upgrade, like it's probably gonna be GG's, because yeah. I think that's literally what we're just missing out of this deck right now, is just a strength upgrade, and everything else is looking pretty decent. Man, this is rough. This is rough. I do think we go for the armaments, though, like 100%. It is a consideration to be able to go for like Bag of Preparation there, but I think having a Runic Pyramid, being able to leave extra cards in our hand at the end of our turn, means that we don't really need the Bag of Preparation, so... we can go for a Strength Pot and a card removal service, which we would just remove like a basic strike, most likely, from our deck. That is probably the weakest. We did just pick up another Sword Boomerang, so yeah, we could take out another strike here. Or, like, it's either we take Shrug It Off or Cleave. I don't think we take both of these, because they're not, like, necessarily that great. I do think Cleave, though, can be really good, especially with Akabeko. So I think we take that, since we don't really have any AoE currently, and I feel like we're going to be fighting a lot of mobs. So let's get rid of a strike from our deck. Unfortunately, we can't afford the strength potion, so let's move on. Consideration, though, take the strength potion. It's just like it's just like a one-time use, though. That's the problem. Is it time to use the potion? I think it is actually time to use this potion. We just don't want to take too much damage if we can help it, which we're going to be taking damage regardless, it looks like, so. Well, we clearly have to armaments this turn. And probably the best thing for us to do is just go for an upgrade Seeing Red, even though we're probably not casting it here. We can just spend 3 mana to get a Blood for Blood out of our hand. It does get cheaper over the next couple of turns. We just don't have a lot to do. I don't think it's right for us to go for a Berserk here. Yeah, we just have like dead limit breaks in our hand, which is just very unfortunate. I could cast this though to get it out of the hand and be able to cast like what? Sword Boomerang and Headbutt to be able to put Sword Boomerang back on top. Is that really worth it? We can put armaments back on top too. That's not a terrible choice. Yeah, I think we end up just trying to get rid of that. And I think that deals the most amount of damage right now, so that's a good thing I went for that. That's why ordering matters. I think armaments is probably just the best choice to put on top of our deck here. All right, let's go. We're going to take 5, which makes the Blood for Blood a little bit cheaper, which is always good. We do have armaments. We can armaments our Metallicize. It's probably the best thing for us to do. I shouldn't have cast that, actually. I should have cast the Warcry first, see what we got. Which it doesn't matter, so... how much block can we put up this turn? We have Metallicize, plus the 5 we already have from armaments. So we can go for like True Grit, Metallicized, Defend if we really wanted to. So it would be 9. 9. We only have to block 18. I do want to take a couple points of damage to make Blood for Blood worth it. So probably we can just pass on the Defend here. Yeah, we don't want the burn in our hand right away. We want to be able to try to set it up so we can actually take advantage of that. True Grit to get rid of Limit Break. We just can't use it, and I don't plan on going down to 50% HP in this combat, so that's just the most beneficial thing for us. Yes, indeed. Unfortunately, Blood for Blood is not going to be active here, and Berserk's going to be another dead card in our hands. Unfortunate. We do get a Bash. Is it time to really go for the Bash yet? I don't think we go for the Bash until we can actually get a really good Blood for Blood here, so I think Flame Berry is actually worthwhile. Which means we're going to go up to 20 health, which means we're going to take 1. So, with that being said, Bash actually is worthwhile then. That's probably the next best card we can do. And he's going to be vulnerable for the next 2 turns, so... Okay, we end up taking 1, so we actually have an active Blood for Blood, so that's good. That's at least good, so we can just kill him this turn. Woo! We didn't take too much health, so that's reasonable. I will take that every day, all day. Still no strength options. Do we take the Feel No Pain? How many? We have True Grit that works with it. We have Warcry that works with it. And we can always Limit Break. Cast this one to be able to get exhausted. You know, I'm not opposed to that. I do think that this gets a little bit better later down the line. Just generates... It's almost like another Metallicize for our deck every once in a while. Not every turn, but every like couple of turns. And if we can pick up like another way to like get some exhaust, I feel like that's worthwhile. I don't think an Anger is really worth it here. 0 mana cards, though, are pretty valuable at this point. But we just don't like... We don't really need it, because if we're trying to go for like a strength build... I'm pointing at Flame Barrier for some reason. If we try to go for a strength build with Limit Break, then we would rather have things like Sword Boomerang to be able to deal extra damage. I think I'm going to try out a Feel No Pain, though. Let's give it a shot. Yep, we get Metallicize, Feel No Pain this turn. Do we need to Feel No Pain? No, we can go for Sword Boomerang and then Bash. Because this deals 33 damage. Yeah, we have to deal 33 damage. And then we can go for the Bash. That way we can just take advantage of Akabeko there. We do take some damage here, which is unfortunate. So he's not attacking this turn. Which means we should attack. I don't think I go for the Warcry, though. And is it better for me to go for Sword Boomerang to upgrade Sword Boomerang rather than either of the other 2 attacks in our hands? I think that just deals more damage, right? It'll deal 12 damage. This will deal 11, I believe, when it's upgraded. And this will also deal, I think, 12 damage, if I'm not mistaken, when it's upgraded. Something like that. So it really doesn't matter between which one of these 2, I think. And we're probably going to be casting Headbutt more often than Sword Boomerang. It also deals more damage in the long run than a Sword Boomerang would because of the vulnerability. I believe that's what it does. So this would only get +1 for each attack, so it would be an extra 4 damage. So 4 times 3 would be 12, whereas this one is 18 damage. This one technically deals more damage. Do we want to put anything back on top of our deck? Armaments is like always a decent choice. I just... Like, clearly we want to be able to cast these. And that's just like, what card do we put on top of our deck from here? We could go for another Bash to set up that for next turn again. Is that worthwhile? Or is dealing like cleave damage, or I think Armaments is still just a better choice because we're going to be getting constricted here. So, and I'm saving the Warcry, so when we actually go for this Feel No Pain, we can get some value out of it. Like right now is a pretty decent time to just go for all of that. We're going to be taking 32 because we are constricted currently. As much as I would like to deal him damage at this moment, I just don't think we have the opportunity to be able to do that right now. But I do realize that we're constricted for 10 every turn too, so for the remainder of this is just going to be a very difficult fight for us. So I think we do metallicize to be able to put up at least some more block against this constricted. From there, I think we go for like armaments and upgrade a flame barrier and then just cast the flame barrier, and then we don't have enough mana to be able to go for, you know, the Feel No Pain and War Cry, so we can save that for another turn. We do a Blood for Blood at 1 mana now. That is a little bit more reasonable. I do like going for Clothesline because that saves us some extra damage here. And then it's just a matter of like, do we Flame Barrier again, and then we set this up to be able to be a 0 mana card? I think that's worthwhile, and also makes it so it deals a little bit more damage to our opponent as well. Unfortunately, we're not going to draw very many cards here, but that's okay, because we're getting really close to being able to just kill him. We're getting close. We're not quite there yet. I do think we go for this Feel No Pain and go for the War Cry now. Seeing red is really good for us here. We're not going to be casting Combust, so we'll put that back on top. Seeing red so we can get some extra mana for this turn. And obviously we're going to go going for a Blood for Blood here. And I think we're just going to go for a strike. And then we just have 3 defends to be able to put up some blocks for this turn. I guess I didn't need all those defends. I could have saved one. But hopefully he is just dead here. That is what this was coming down to. Alright, we did take some damage. Still looking okay, though. Still looking okay. None of these are really things I'm interested in. Like, we don't have enough exhaust strategies to be able to take advantage of that. And I don't really like Clash in my hand because we don't discard, so we'd have to, like, really get away to be able to get all the non-attack cards out of our hand. And I don't think Pommel Strike is really worth it at this point, since it looks like every turn we're ending with cards in our hand still. We don't have enough mana to be able to blow through everything. We do have a Metallicize we can set up for this turn. I do think that Flame Barrier is good, actually. Can we save Flame Barrier? This is just going to get rid of all the damage he's going to be dealing to us this turn, which is probably worthwhile for 1 mana. I don't think we're ever going to want to defend in our hand, so let's just get that out of here. That's way worse than just actually attacking him, so... We do have Blood for Blood. I don't really plan on taking any damage from him if we can help it. Do we just go for, like, Combust, Cleave, Headbutt? If we go for the Headbutt, what do we want on top of our deck? I'm not really sure. Obviously, I would love to have Blood for Blood on top of our deck, but I don't think that's going to happen. The Flame Barrier is not terrible, though. I think it prevents it from him from dealing damage on the following turns, so I think that's reasonable enough to go for here, because it's going to get worse the longer it sits in our hand, because he's going to be dealing more damage over the course of these 5 turns. So I'm just taking these really slow. I know that this is a little bit painful, and it's probably... Everybody's screaming at me at home right now, being like, hey, this is the best play, so on and so forth. But, yeah, I just want to make sure that I'm not taking stupid damage is basically what this comes down to. So, Cleave is probably the next choice here, and then we have Headbutt. And we would rather just have an attack, which I think Sword Boomerang deals the most amount of damage here. And we're going to be taking 3 damage. That does make Blood for Blood a little bit cheaper. Obviously, I would like to take 0 damage if I can help it, but we just haven't had that option yet. So we can reduce some of the damage being dealt to us from that. And I think we just go for, like, Sword Boomerang. And we're basically just left with going for a Combust. Is that really what this comes down to? Ugh. None of this feels good. None of this feels good. So thankfully we do have a regen pot. I don't think we can really take full advantage of it. We could have done that earlier on, but I guess we just do go for this War Cry here and see if we get something that is more beneficial. Strike will help us out a little bit. Just not a lot of damage because he's not vulnerable. Unfortunately, we didn't draw our bash, which is like the make or break for this matchup. We really needed our bash early on so that we could deal a bunch of damage extra to him. So hopefully we draw that next turn, but... Yep, I think this is the best play. Other than that, I can go for like armaments here. And what would I upgrade? Probably just like a strike. We take our beats, but we're able to at least apply a little bit more pressure later down the line. I think that's probably worthwhile. Is that better than a flame barrier though? This will do block 16 on the turn we play it. I think strike is just slightly better. Yeah, we're going to be taking 11 damage here. Ugh. Hey, we finally get our bash. And it finally does something for us. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. 27. So, we can prevent all the damage being dealt to us this turn. However, next turn's looking a little difficult. Okay. We have Seeing Red to be able to give us some extra block here and extra energy. We have True Grit. We don't have any ways to be able to deal him damage outside of Combust here. We are definitely not casting Berserk at any time. Nor are we casting Limit Break, so I could have gotten rid of that. So what are we at? 21 block. And we still have 3 mana. So better just go for like Flame Barrier and Metallicize. I think that is. Technically, Combust actually prevents a little bit more damage. It prevents 1 damage. Yeah, I don't see any other plays here, so, yep. It's the best thing we could do. Unfortunately, we took way too much damage because it just took us too long to find that bash. Still no strength upgrades. We do have an Intimidate, which is 0 mana, so that actually can be kind of helpful for us because since we do keep cards into our hand, we can potentially set that up. And this is also pretty good against the Heart, too. Oh, boy. So we do have one more combat. We do have our Red Skull proc right now, too, so I think we'll have a better time against the next enemy here. So I'm going to take a little bit of a gamble here and go for this armaments upgrade because I think that is going to be more worthwhile against this enemy here. Then the extra health because we do have a strength upgrade. Is Cleave just going to deal more damage to everybody? Yes, it will. Okay. From there... From there, we end up going for a Sword Boomerang. Question is, do I have enough time to be able to take advantage of this regen potion right now? Ugh, I don't know. I think we might be able to get it down, so there's only 1 enemy left. So yeah, I think I'm going to try it here. We are taking some pretty big beats here, though, that's for sure. Let's go for the War Cry first. 2 cards that I don't need upgraded. Okay. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Well, we're definitely going to be able to cast the Intimidate this turn. We want that. Berserk is probably not going to get cast, so we can at least put that back on top, right? Yeah, that seems worthwhile. From here, we clearly want to be able to cast this. And can we put up enough block to be able to just defend ourselves against these guys? We definitely want to be able to cast that. Do we want to cast Combust this turn? If we do, we probably want to go for an Armaments. I could go for a True Grit as well. This does make it so that way we can deal some extra damage to these guys every turn, and we can block enough and get rid of the Strike, which the Strike was fine. It wasn't necessary to get rid of, but I just think we have better cards that we can potentially draw. We have Limit Breaks, which are great. So let's double our strength. Let's double our strength. 22 is not enough to kill this. So what if we're going to be taking 1 if I don't attack here and kill this? Or if I put up the block, we block everything. Do we have Cleave in our deck still? No, it's in our discard pile. We just haven't drawn very many cards, so I think we just take care of this one and pass the turn. I could have potentially gone for like the Berserk and Defend play, though. That actually would have been probably more reasonable. I just think taking one out is better for us here. We do have Sword Boomerangs, so it's either I can go for double Flame Barrier, and double Flame Barrier will give us 28 block, which would be 35 block, so it actually does block everything this turn and deal some extra damage to them. I think that's reasonable enough. That way we can actually take full advantage of the regen potion as well, so gets them just a little bit closer, and this should be the game over. Thank you. Still no. So basically we're just like hoping that Red Skull is going to finally do something. You know, we're looking, I guess, to be at 50% HP forever is what this comes down to. Do we take another Sword Boomerang? How many Sword Boomerangs is too many? Like, Feed is probably not the choice here, but seeing Red and Sword Boomerang are reasonable enough. Be able to try to get more cards out of our hand, cast more things in a turn. I think Sword Boomerang, though, is just, like, I have to take it. I'm going to look at the Smith, but I'm probably not going to Smith anything here, in case you're wondering. In case you are wondering, because there's nothing really here that, like, very much intrigues me, and we just really need some HP. All right, we're getting a curse. What was the? There we go. Normality. What does normality do? While in your hand, you can't play more than 3 cards in a turn. That is rude because that is going to stay in our hand, does not have exhaust or anything. So whenever you add an attack, upgrade it. We're looking for more like power stuff, but you know, what can you do? All right, what do we got? Flame Barrier is a pretty good choice here, to be honest with you. Sword Boomerang is going to be a liability in this game, that's for sure. So if we buff, we go for the vulnerable, these guys are going to deal an extra, they're going to deal 10 damage. Is that really worth it? I don't think it is. The only issue is this guy's not attacking, so I think it actually is worth it for us to do it set up on this turn. And Sword Boomerang is just like never going to be useful, so until we get this guy down to the end. We obviously get more choices for Sword Boomerang if we want it, but we don't. I would like to not cast Sword Boomerang if I can help it. That sounds like a death wish. These are not the enemies you want to be casting that against. So, we have no way to put up any block. So it looks like we're just going to be bashing and clotheslining this guy. And that's our turn. We take 6, which is actually going to be 7. Oh boy. We have no other way. We can only cast 3 cards. So we definitely want to be able to cast the Flame Barrier, that is for sure. I think we want to just True Grit and get this out of here. Yeah, get that gone. Just leave us. Leave us in peace, please. We want to put up another Defend here, and Sword Boomerang is a liability. I think we just get the Limit Break out of our hand, though. We're really close, though, to being able to take enough damage to get Limit Break active. Yeah, I think we just save it then. As much as I don't want to. And when it's active. So. This is the liability of having Sword Boomerangs. This is part of the issue here. I think we go for Warcry, though. We end up getting an Armaments. Okay. If we are to cast... We're not going to be putting up any blocks this turn, I think, except for, like, Armaments. Actually, we're not going to be casting a Sword Boomerang. We can put that on top, at the very least. I think we do go for Armaments here. Go for a Seeing Red. We want to be able to Limit Break twice, I think, here. Boy, oh boy, this is just going to deal so much damage if Yeah, we're just gonna put up our blocks and say we're taking no damage this turn. It's just the best thing we can do. Unfortunately, it is the actual best thing. Can we kill you? Yes, we can. We should do that. Get you out of here. Oh, this hurts. Are there any cards we want back from our deck, actually? Flame Barrier is probably not a bad choice. We just want some defense, and we're going to be taking 3 more damage this turn. This does not kill them. I take way too much damage if I attack them here. So maybe we should have gone for the headbutt, actually, on the big guy. Yeah, that probably would have been the better play, huh? What do we have? Metallicize and defend. We'll put some extra block here. We're just taking so much damage. Taking so much damage. Like, we have to. And I hate it. Yeah, we can cleave next turn, so... You know, I guess worse things, right? I say that, but I don't really mean it. Let's be fair. We're taking way too much damage here. But we have Red Skull active. Isn't that the positive? We cannot take anything else that's not doesn't help us out with our strategy, and we have too many sword boomerangs. You saw that was a liability there. Oh my god, stop it with these freaking thorns. You suck. You suck. Yeah, we definitely cleave here. From there, we can metallicize. We cannot kill any of these, unfortunately. We are 2 damage off me. We'll take out at least one of them. So I guess we go for this one. Man, we are taking so much damage. This is part of the issue, is we just don't have enough. Like, I guess we're getting bad matchups too. Like we're getting put up against the spikes, the spikers. Okay, we have armaments here to be able to upgrade everything. We can play 1 defend, and I guess we just let a sword boomerang roll. Like, we're going to be putting up 16 block. These are going to hit 4 enemies each. So hopefully it just like hits 1 of each, and we only take a little bit of damage. If it hits the thorns, like... Oh... It's like, is this worth it? Like, we have to deal damage to them no matter what. We have to deal damage to the thorns. So in other words, we're gonna have block up on the same turn. And the issue is that we don't have any ways to be able to deal damage to them outside of, say, like they flame barrier and they attack us, or we have combust is the other one, wherever that is right now. There it is, which we still take damage on. So no matter what, we're going to have to take damage, but putting up enough block to be able to take these out is going to be treacherous for us. I do think we have to go for a sword boomerang, though, and potentially be able to kill one. Of course, we hit the thorns multiple occasions there. Of course we do. And this one's going to explode today, which we only have a sword boomerang to be able to take care of that, and we have to. And this looks like it's going to spell GG's. So I think we just ran into a bad matchup, honestly. I think that's inevitably what happened here. We're just going to die, probably. Oh, my God, we're still alive. We're still alive. Oh, my God. We're still alive. How are we alive? That's what I want to know. How are we alive here? 28. We're going to take 7, which means we can Flame Barrier here. I could True Grit to be able to get rid of the Berserk instead and save the Flame Barrier for the following turn. I think that's more reasonable. Take this guy out. This is not going to kill him, though. That's the problem. So we have to wait for another turn to be able to find another attack here. We drew Clothesline, which means we can actually go for the Flame Barrier and the Clotheslines. We're still alive. Oh, just barely. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. You gotta be joking. I think we just have to accept that we're going to be just using Red Skull as our as our strength. That's not a good place to be in right now. Do we take a pommel? It is upgraded. Or do we take Seeing Red? Do we need Seeing Red at this point? I don't think we need Seeing Red at this point. I think we can take the pommel. No, we just don't take anything. We don't take anything that's... I'm sticking to my guns here. Dramatic entrance. You know what? I'm sticking to my guns. I'm sticking to my guns. Absolutely not. Go away. Don't even talk to me. Unless you are a strength upgrade. Absolutely not. Get the fluff out. We fall. What do we lose? We can lose Berserk. But now we're starting to get to the places where Berserk actually is helpful. I think we just lose a Cleave, because Cleave is going to be the least beneficial card from here on out. And we rest again. 67 HP. Oh. Okay. Well, we can put up a Flame Barrier this turn at the very least. Try to prevent some of this damage. Do we want to Sword Boomerang first so we can deal just extra damage and be able to go for like the Seeing Red and Bash this turn? Be able to put a Bash up on the Donut because Donu is the one that actually deals the most damage over the longevity of this game because he's buffing himself first. Like, we have to go for the Cultist Potion here as much as I want to save that for the heart. I see no way around that. Yeah, we're going to be casting Sword Boomerang, let's be fair. And we're going to prevent a little bit of damage, but still take some. Okay, we have the Flame Barrier number 2 here. Let's go for a War Cry, see what we get. I don't really want to use a Berserk here. Not that we're really going to have a chance to be able to cast it anyways, but... yeah, we have to just take these debuffs off him so we can eventually draw them and get some value. So, we're going to take some more damage here. We're getting close. I think this turn is when we actually are active on Red Skull, which means then we can start going for the Limit Break stuff. We can save the Sword Boomerangs. Could use one. Just to be able to use the most of our mana here. Problem is they are going to get better. I think we just exhaust this and get it out of our hand instead. That sounds more reasonable here. Which means we lost out in a couple points of damage there, but what can you do? Let's go for the Feel No Pain, True Grit to get rid of Normality. Metallicize will help us out in the long run of this too, even though we're looking pretty close to dead here. Being able to put a Flame Barrier back on top, though, is reasonable too. I can't go for this Berserk. One of these needs to die in order for us to set this up, and I don't think we're going to die before that even matters. So going for an Intimidate here doesn't actually matter for us very much. We're getting very close to being able to go for a giant Sword Boomerang turn. We're just not there yet. It's better, I think, to put up the Defend, because we're going to be taking way too much damage. Then next turn we go for the Intimidate. Save us a little bit of damage here. Alright, is this our turn? I think this is our turn. I think if we were ever to hope for a turn, this would be the turn. You are hitting the wrong enemy. You are gonna kill us because you are hitting the wrong enemy. Okay, okay, he's dead. Okay, which means we can set up the Berserk this turn. Okay, we're... Oh, the RNG of that almost killed us, and we still could be dead here. We still could be dead. I think we are. I can bash him. I can clothesline him. Still 28, and we can only do a defend to be able to prevent ourselves, which would be 28, which is exactly lethal for us to die here. Oh my god, you have to be joking. So what was the play? Was the play to use our draw potion and potentially find a sword boomerang? Oh boy. We are just dead. Oh, exhausting cards. Exhausting cards. Oh my god, it saved us. Yes, I forgot about you because you weren't really a relevant factor in the preparation of all this. We killed him. That is part of the reason why you take Feel No Pain, though, is because all the exhausted days and stuff like that go into your deck. Yeah, that's the reason why you take it. I just forgot that I actually put it out there. Oh, thank baby Jesus. Thank baby Jesus right there. 650 damage. 14 health. No big deal. No big deal. We did it, right? We did it, ladies and gents, right? That was painful to watch. I'm sure all of you probably have kept up with the Feel No Pain there, and you're like, you're just an idiot, but that's okay. Do we go for upgrading Limit Break? Or would we rather go for an upgraded Flame Barrier? Flame Barrier, we already have one upgraded Limit Break, so I don't think we need two to be upgraded. I think Flame Barrier is just our best option here. Okay. Strength? Oh my god, you have to be kidding me right now. We were not offered any strength bonuses at all. We have to get rid of this normality. We have to. And we get a strength pot. Okay. You know, it's something. It's something. We're probably going to die to these elites here. Things are not looking so good is basically what it's coming down to. Sorry, my microphone keeps moving around. Well, clothesline on this guy is probably the best thing we can do here. I think I'm going to use my Swift Potion, though, here. They do have 2 active negates on them, so... we don't really have much block to go work with either, so... this is going to apply more, so I think we go for this. I think I would like to... do I reduce his damage or do I reduce his damage? I don't know which one deals less. This is going to deal 6 damage, and this will deal... what, like 14, probably? You attack more frequently. That's the issue. Do we go for the Sword Boomerang first because it deals the most amount of damage? Probably the reason we should go for it first. Yeah. And from here, we can just go for like a clothesline, which I think he's going to be the one we're going to be wanting to weaken first. And we'll just get Metallicize out there. Take some beats this turn. Alrighty. Our strength is reduced. That is not good. That is not good. That makes Sword Boomerangs awful. It's like the worst thing we could have done. But we didn't really have like any other choices here. Is there a way to be able to kill you? I don't think there is, just because we don't have any strength bonuses. Because even like if I go for like Bash and Blood for Blood, it's not going to be enough to actually kill him. And we're taking so much damage. I can headbutt the guy when I turn back if I wanted to. Do we pop the strength potion? Is that actually going to be helpful to us right here? Obviously, we'll deal more damage, but we're not really looking to go for a Sword Boomerang turn anyways. I do realize that the strength could be more beneficial, though, and be able to deal like an extra like 20 points of damage to each of these over the course of this match. Maybe more. What prevents us from taking the most amount of damage here? Defend, being able to turn back around on the guy that's attacking us multiple times. Mr. Spear, hands. We can't go for the Berserk, obviously. Just a matter of, like, do we go for a bash? And as much as, like, has the weakest amount of HP, he's going to be defending for, like, 30 next turn for both of them, no matter what here. You know what? I still think we actually do want to try to take him out if we can. And I will go for this. This does not kill you, though. That's the problem. We can't go for like that and headbutt and be able to take you out. I mean, there's no play that kills either of these here. So, like, I feel like putting up a defend, though, is just, like, more beneficial for us than casting a headbutt. We didn't get, like, a flame barrier yet, so casting headbutt doesn't really make any sense currently. I could get back a clothesline, which is fine to be able to reduce this guy's damage, but I think flame barrier is just better for us than a clothesline. I'd rather try to draw into that if I can help it. Yep, I think we just go for blood here and just headbutt this guy. And sure, well, I should have put the blood for blood on top. That was stupid. That was actually really stupid. The blood for blood would have been 0 mana. That would have been so much damage to be able to deal, potentially be able to kill this guy this turn. That was a mistake. That was clearly a mistake. Yeah, because then we wouldn't be taking 38 damage here. Oh my goodness. That was huge. Well, if, you know, we're going to have to pop it. Let's go for the War Cry and see what we get. We get Strike. We didn't get to draw both cards. Just putting... nope, that one. Since we're never casting that in this matchup. He is actually weakened, too. That's the sad part. We're getting desperate. That's basically what this is coming down to. How much block can we put up? This would be 14. This would be 30, which would be 37. So we're going to take 11. You know what? That sounds pretty reasonable here. Let's get rid of a basic strike since we probably don't need that. We do have Red Skull active, so I think it's time to pull the trigger. We got Seeing Red first. We got Limit Break, which I should have probably gone for the Feel No Pain, but we just want to be able to attack as many times as possible this turn. All right, let's go. Let's see where these land. The issue is that this might not kill this. So I think like clothesline is probably still the best option. Yeah, I think we have to like go for that, and then we can set up the Berserk for this turn to be able to get some extra energy. So casting the Feel No Pain didn't seem like it was a mistake there then, if that's the case. Is there a way we can prevent any damage this turn? Flame Barrier, defend. That will give us 16, 24, 29, which would be 35, and he's dealing us 36. He's not putting up any blocks for the following turns, so... It's actually more because we have the double defend here. Let's see, 36 actually is what we're blocking, so I can go for a Limit Break. I will. Okay, so if we can draw like one more Sword Boomerang, then he is definitely dead, which we did, so let's do it. All right, we're starting the heart with like half health. Actually, technically not. We got one. Oh my god, we have a strength bonus in the deck. It looks like we're doing nothing turn one. Fantastic. We're off to a great start here. Off to the races. Okay, so we have Flame Barrier, which will prevent some of the damage. That's really about it, to be honest. I would like to spot weakness so we can actually get the the strength rolling on that. Do we go for the sword boomerang just to deal our damage early up front? How much damage can we prevent? He's dealing 36 to us. Putting another flame barrier back on top, is that worth it? It's not really great against his follow-up attack here, which is going to be like 50 something damage. I think just going for a sword boomerang is just the best option, honestly. It deals the most amount of damage. We're just taking so much damage, unfortunately. Yep, that hurt. 60 damage incoming. Can we survive this? Just gonna get that in my hand first so I can actually cast this War Cry. And unfortunately, we did not get very much in terms of block, and we're also frail this turn, so I don't think we're surviving this turn, unfortunately. And we don't have enough damage to be able to kill him. Yeah. We had a really garbage start against him. That is unfortunate, and I think we're just dead because of that. I see 0 ways to be able to survive this. And we don't have any ways to be able to regenerate our health or come back to life. So, yep, we are just dead. Well, we got closer. I wouldn't say as close as like the last 2 times, but we've definitely... Actually, one of those times, I'm pretty sure we died in like Act 1. So, but I feel like we are almost there. We are like, we were so close. If we just got like 1 or 2 strength cards to go with those limit breaks early on, we wouldn't have probably lost as much health. And we wouldn't have had to take so many like mediocre cards that don't fit into the deck. And we probably could have taken him out, but nope, that's just how the cookie crumbles. So, all right, well, hopefully you guys enjoyed. I am sad that we only picked up 1 strength bonus like that entire run. But we honestly didn't just have enough block to be able to put up against the heart anyways. So, like, it's not really surprising that we lost there. We didn't get like an impervious or anything like that, or be able to weaken him or anything like that. Like, no, 0 disarms. We got 0 disarms and like 0 strength bonuses like in that matchup, which is what is necessary to be able to defeat the heart. So I'm not really surprised that we lost there. Flame barriers are great and all, but you need like disarms and stuff like that, or weakens, to be able to make sure you don't take any damage or very little damage when you fight the heart. So with that being said, though, be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. It does truly help out and support the channel. It actually encourages me to want to be able to make more content. So thank you guys so much for everybody that has been leaving comments and liking and subscribing and doing all the things that help out the video and the channel grow a little bit more, so we can start to build maybe a community around this. So I have been eyeballing a couple of other games to play too, so I'm not really sure if I maybe want to add an extra like game here and there to the channel. I have been looking at like Darkest Dungeon is one of the ones. Binding of Isaac is always a game that I love to play too. But I'm kind of keeping my eye out, and right now I'm just trying to like stay focused on like Slay the Spire when I do play a game, because I'm just trying to get better at this game. And once I feel like I've reached a decent chunk where I'm actually winning, I wouldn't say more than I'm losing, but more frequently, and I feel more comfortable with making choices and strategies and stuff inside of the game, I'm more than happy to start looking into another game to like delve into it. I could definitely play like Binding of Isaac, because I've already put like thousands of hours into that game, so I already understand a lot of what's going on. I'm not really sure how good I'd be at commentating over that, because I've only ever really commentated over card games and the strategies behind card games. And I realize like I'm not like the best player in the world, and sure, I make plenty of mistakes, but everybody makes mistakes, and you gotta pick yourself up after you make mistakes, so that way you can just try to focus and see what you can do to maybe remedy the situation. So that's basically what happens in any game you play, is like you're bound to make mistakes. It's just about how you recuperate from them, how you get back up. So with that being said, make sure you guys do something positive today. Go for that walk, make yourself a nice home-cooked meal, do something that's a little healthier, something to move yourself forward. Just one small thing a day will lead you into a better life. So thank you guys so much. Have a great day. Good luck, and grind on.